Hello, popcorn junkies. 1 minute, there's absolutely no sign of Middle-earth or Westeros or any fictional landscape or, sort of fantasy realm. And suddenly two arrive all at once. So Jeff Bezos, Prime, landed a teaser for The Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings Season 2. I'm going to be reacting to that in a minute. But also HBO or Max have dropped the second sort of meaningful, chunky trailer for House of the Dragon Season 2. Now, the first two trailers, obviously, were they the black and the green trailers? Is that right? Is that how I remember? It was the black and the green trailers. Well, this is one great big fat trailer that promises all sorts of kind of insights into what we can expect from Season 2. Me and Nadia really enjoyed Season 1. It was fantastic. We really enjoyed Paddy Considine's King Viserys. So, this is going to be interesting. We've got Matt Smith in there. We've got Olivia Cook in there. We've got Rhys Ifans in there as Otto Hightower. We've got the two sides. You've got the naval lot. You've got the Navy, haven't you? Got all that lot. You've got, but in House of the Dragon Season 2, it looks like we're being promised all sorts of other aspects, familiar aspects, but made new, if you like, because this is set so much earlier than the Game of Thrones series, from George R.R. Martin's source material, or his, Fire and Blood. We're going to get lots more dragons, I think, in here. We're going to start to see the Starks. The Starks are going to be represented. We're going to be able to get to grips with Aegon, who's just this absolutely monstrous little character who, to be fair, he only wants what most teenagers want, or young male adults. He just wants to be down in the brothels, having a ribald old time. But he doesn't want really all the responsibility of being a king, or does he? We're going to get the Lannisters. Are we going to get the Lannisters? I don't know. We're going to get a sense of the Lannisters. We're going to get a sense of the Starks. We've got the Valyrian fleet, the naval, all that naval stuff. Remember all those wonderful scenes from House of the Dragon 1 where you had all the bodies on the beach when the sea went out and the crabs were eating them and all that kind of stuff. You've got Matt Smith in there being an absolute sort of monstrous character, Daemon Targaryen. You've got Emma Darcy on one side with Matt Smith, and you've got that whole kind of incestuous sort of, they like incest, don't they, in House of the Dragon? There's nothing to be frowned upon or shied away from. It just goes for it and it just nails it. It was incredibly, what I liked about the first season, it was much more familial. It was that classic thing of, family, revenge and jealousy and power struggles. That classic sort of courtier, especially the Rhys Ifans, Otto Hightower stuff. Who's betraying who's jostling for control of the kingdom and all that kind of malarkey. And of course, who's controlling the great big fucking dragons flying around everywhere. So without further ado, let's tune in, let's check it out. Let's watch House of the Dragon Season 2, the official trailer. Not one of those green trailers, red trailers, black trailers. Your proper good old-fashioned trailer.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron Throne is not just a king or a queen. They are a protector of the realm. Now I find myself in an impossible position.
All hail King Aegon!
The enemy usurped my throne.
We're going to King's Landing.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
We must play the board before us.
Proceed cautiously.
Fuck dignity! I want revenge.
News spreads through the realm. The great houses will come to our side.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
My ships sail at your command.
The realm's only hope is in a leader strong enough to unite it.
Do you accept me as your queen and ruler? This senseless war's end
Shall never prevail.
not like this.
Alicent holds love for our enemy. That makes her a fool.
The enemy without may be fought with swords. The enemy within is more insidious.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
is coming, but neither of us will win. Proper medieval swashbuckling armour, the chink of chainmail, the leather slap of a scabbard, the kind of thunk of a cat and iron tails, a thunk of a mace and a joust and the breathing of a dragon. Lots of good dragon action there. Have to say, never been convinced, never will be convinced of the shots, front-on shots of people riding dragons. Always looks green screen because part of you's always thinking they're green screen. Whereas the shots of them from behind are always much more compelling, much more immersive and much more believable. And actually, I think they should always err on the side of going from behind rather than showing them from the front. As I said earlier, we got Rhaenyra in there looking fantastic. Emma Darcy, you've got her you've got that whole kind of tangible power struggle between her and Matt Smith. You know, there's that kind of forbidden love, but then there's also is he going to accept her as his ruler, as his monarch, or is she going to have to kill him too? And then of course you've got this Aegon II, who, wow, what a splenetic character he is. Absolutely, I want revenge, I want success, I want all that kind of stuff. He's an absolute little bastard, isn't he? And is that Ty Tennant? Is that David Tennant's son? He's absolutely fantastic. Whoa. Olivia Cook in there, becoming a little bit kind of lily-livered, though of course she's been hijacked, if you like, by her father, Rhys Ifans, the whole Otto Hightower kind of agenda going on there too. So you've got clear conflict, you've got a battle, but I do like this idea that actually no one's going to end up winning. And of course, you know, this is the origin story, or the origin kind of battles of these great houses before we get to the Starks and the Lannisters, who are going to start to feed their way through. I mean, I'm up for this kind of thing. I think in order for this to be successful, I think they need to keep it close to the human stories. I think you want the emotional strife and conflict and evil and sort of dubious morals of character. You want to keep them front and centre, because then that lifts up the kind of, not that they're generic, and I'm sure that they'll bring a certain panache to kind of, you know, cavalry charges and weaponry and, you know, firing kind of things into forts and all that. I mean, I love all that. It's fantastic, total escapist stuff. But it becomes a bit samey after a while. Even like with Napoleon, you're like, okay, there's a bunch of cannons all shooting again. There's only so much of that you can take. It doesn't touch you, but it touches you more emotionally if you're engaged in the power struggle, in the humans at the back of all of this. So I think, you know, as long as they keep that emphasis. I do think Paddy Considine was the beating heart, if you like, at the centre of the first season. You felt there was an honour within him, even though, you know, no one is honourable. Everyone is honourable to themselves and their own families, if you like. But, you know, I need to know where in this series we want to latch on to someone with whom we kind of have empathy. Or, you know, and is it possibly going to be, I think it could possibly end up being Princess Rhaenyra. Will it be Alicent Hightower? Will it be the two key women? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a head off, isn't it, between the two? Are they going to sort of throw these men to the dogs? And so, yeah, but if I'm honest, my guilty pleasure is already going to be King Aegon. And also, of course, the chap with the scarred eye. Oh, yeah, Aemond. So you've got Aegon who's king, and then you've got Aemond Targaryen. He's great. The eye that's been plunged out. Do you remember that? He looks vicious, got a fabulous jawline, untrustworthy. So I'm looking forward to actually the double act of the Targaryens, those two brothers, kind of Aemond, or Egon and Egan, the two of them. I'm hoping that they're going to be particularly nasty and gruesome and willing to take things to ludicrous levels of torture and hostility and bacchanalian madness. I want a bit of bawdiness. I want savagery. I want this to be an outlet for all of the frustrations that we're all feeling. Yeah, come on, unleash the beast.